Hello and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I've got my apron on, I'm in my fizzy fabulous place, my kitchen, and I'm excited about today's recipe because it's an old classic, one that I created from the beginning, and it's book one, and we're making chicken pizziola. Oh my gosh, you know, the whole idea is that it's chicken with pizza. You have me at hello. And it's also in the Cooking for One or Two book. So you can make it either a serves 2 or a serves 4. But today we're doing it out of the book and it serves 4. Now, before we begin, let's talk about the winners from last week's show. Everyone was loving the raspberry cheesecake. And the winners for that were Sarah Day, Judy Gray, and Candace Pepper. Now, they all decided to get the Cooking for One or Two book because it was in that as well. So you've got a signed copy coming your way. Now, the recipe we need for today, it's simple ingredients, it's simple to make, and I've got a special guest coming on in a little bit that's going to help me. So I'm excited. Don't normally have a guest on, so this will be fun. But let's check the ingredients first. So we want 250 gram skinless chicken breasts. And I'm going to cut them in half and then flatten them so that you can put your pizza top on the front. That's right, pizza topping. Are you getting excited? I love this recipe. Okay, so we need half a cup of diced tomatoes, small dice, you don't want big chunks, half a cup of sliced mushies, half a cup of shallots, or you could do onion if you wanted, half a cup of sliced capsicum. We've got some 97% fat-free ham. We need half a cup of that. It's all half a cup, so it makes it super easy. We need a teaspoon of garlic. We want half a teaspoon of the dried basil. We need 8 teaspoons of the no added salt tomato paste and cheese, of course, and it's the 30% reduced, and I've freshly grated it. You need 1 cup, or if you want to weigh it, it's 100 grams, and some cooking spray. So let's get started. Let me put my recipe here so I can check it out. But before I actually start cooking, you asked for it, and I am so excited because you can now buy my fabulous knife set and block on my website. Look, I love these knives. I've used them for years and I wanted them for you as well because they are the best. Now, I've got a special price on, so check it out. And I've asked Diane to put a link in the comments for you so you can check it all out on the website. But I'm excited because they are fabulous. You need to read about why I have them because they're not just normal knives. All right, so I'm going to start with, see, look, I love it. You can tell which color to get for with the knife handles. I'm going to get with the chicken and I'm going to cut in half both pieces. All right, which I'll leave that there. Now, the trick is we want to flatten it, as I said before. So let's put them back in, and this is how I do it. I put a sheet of the wrap, like a freezer bag, and I put down 1 at a time. Actually, let's do 2 at a time. And then on the top, because when you're bashing it down, you don't want the chicken splattering all over you. And so, this is what we do. You don't need to flatten it thin like a schnitzel. You just want it to be thinner than the big chunk of chicken breast because we want to put our topping on it. Now, hello, if you've just joined me, it's Annette here. Thank you for coming in on Thursdays with Annette. I'm making the chicken pizziola. It is a classic, and if you haven't tried it, then you really need to give it a go. So you can see here, they're nice and flat. So what I'm going to do now is I've got my tray, just spray it with some cooking spray, and I'm going to just place each of the breasts on the baking tray. There we go. Now let's do the next 2. I mean, it's not hard to do, but doing it this way makes it super easy. And now, if you don't have a mallet like I've got, you could use a rolling pin. And I would say that this is a recipe that your kids could be making for dinner because they would love doing this, I can imagine. All right, so there's another piece ready to go. Yep, and our last one. Now just sort of push it together if it's sort of a little bit, separated. So there's the chicken all ready. So that wasn't hard. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the filling that goes on the top. So let me just get rid of this. I'm going to wash my hands. I did wash them before I started on the show, but now I'm going to turn my board over. You notice I've got a tea towel there because that really helps it from slipping, and also it stops the noise on the bench as well. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start chopping. But before we do that, let's bring our little guest in for today. Welcome my fabulous little granddaughter, Portia. Come on in, sweetie.
Hi, everyone.
Well, this is my darling girl. She's my eldest grandchild. I have 6. And Portia and I love to cook in the kitchen, don't we?
Yeah.
And she's a good little cook. I mean, you know your way around a kitchen, don't you?
Yeah.
And you've made this before yourself.
Yes, I have.
So I'm going to get her to help me. But before we start, can I just get you over the sink? Wash your hands.
Yep.
Isn't it funny how we're so conscious of all this stuff now? And it's a good thing. So you wash your hands. I'm going to start chopping and she'll be back in a minute. All right, so let's start chopping. Isn't it fun to have her in the kitchen with me today, little darling? And she's, doing homeschooling at the moment. So as all parents, this might be a great way to give them a bit of a class, if you're looking for ideas, and get them making this recipe. And that can be their home ec, which is what I do on a Tuesday. I hope you're joining me for Tuesday as well. Alrighty, she's good. Right, now, darling, while I'm chopping, I'm going to get you busy. What I'm going to do is I've got in here for you a teaspoon, and I've got a little scraper as well in here somewhere. Where'd it go? There it is. I've got a cute little scraper for you, and I love this butter knife, so you can spread it over if you wish. So I'm going to leave you to put the tomato paste on while Nanny's chopping, and you need 2 teaspoons for each one. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
First of all, though, I need to ask her a very important question. Portia, how much do you love Nanny?
A lot.
Yeah. And what would be your favourite recipe? So you can start, we can chat. What would be your favourite recipes from Nanny's books?
Well, I love...
Let me bring the microphone so you can hear her.
Lemon jelly slice and the raspberry cheesecake.
Lemon jelly slice,
raspberry,
raspberry cheese. Hello from last week's show. That was a bit fabulous. And what was the other one? Raspberry friands, which are the gluten-free. And I actually created the gluten-free recipes a bit motivated because Portia, excuse me, darling, is not great with gluten, are you, honey? No. And so I did a gluten-free section in book 7, and so she was one of my taste testers for that, weren't you, darling? Mm-hmm. Yes, and you were very happy to do that. All right, so now I've got my tomato. I'm going to put the bowl there, and as I go, you just put it in to the bowl. We're going to do your mushrooms now. How you going, doll?
Good.
Good? Oh, this is fun having you in the kitchen with me, sweetie. She's wanted to come on the show forever, and so I thought, why not? We've got so much happening at the moment that's sort of out of the ordinary, so this is why I do the Tuesday show as well, and we maybe should bring you on the Tuesday show, because that's a cooking class, and we could get other kids coming in, because, Portia even commented how much she enjoyed watching me when I made the basic bolognese sauce, didn't you? Because you love the that's another of your savoury. I noticed you said a lot of sweet things, which is typical kids, isn't it? All right, so we want half a cup, and do it fairly thin. We don't want big chunks of mushrooms. There is my cup, half a cup, shallots. Just cut the end off. Now, if you've just joined me, hello, this is my little granddaughter Portia. How old are you, doll?
11.
Yes, and what grade are you in at school?
6.
Grade 6. Fantastic. All right, so if you've just joined me, what we're making together at the moment is the chicken pizziola. It's out of book 1, so it's a good classic, as well as it's in the Cooking for 1 or 2 cookbook. So it makes 4 for today, but you can very easily make it just for 2. It freezes though, so it's fantastic if you want to. I've even done it where I've made it up in the morning and cling wrapped it, put the baking tray in the fridge, and so when dinner comes, I just pull it out. Hello, fabulous. How you going, doll?
Good.
So what Portia's doing is she is putting 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Now I'm using the no added salt tomato paste, and she's spreading it over each of the chicken, because what would you put on a pizza? Of course, the first thing you do is tomato paste. So that's why she's doing that, because we're trying to, the idea for me was I love pizza, and when I was losing my weight, I didn't want to give up those flavours. So what I did is I created all these great recipes that lean towards the pizza flavour, and this is one of them. And it's so much lower in fat. In fact, I need a drum roll, please, Mr. Sym. Here we go. It's 8.6 grams of fat for a serve. Now, if you had compared that to chicken pizza, 2 little slices of pizza would be about probably about 25, 30 grams of fat. Whereas, as I said, this is only 8.6, so it's a bit cool. You can do it, I've done it with veal instead of chicken, which is nice. And I've even done it when I had a veggie friend visiting, and I did it with a slice of tofu. So that's another one to, if you're making a dinner party and you think, well, I've got different people coming, one doesn't eat chicken, so I'll do the veal, one's a vegetarian, add the tofu, or as the classic one is with the chicken. See how great these knives are? They're just so sharp and fabulous. And as I said, they're on my website now, so check it out. And I've got a deal that you're going to just love. So I'm excited, because you know I'm all about giving you great cooking products for the kitchen, which is the cookbooks, and now we've got the knives. So I've got half a cup diced capsicum. How you going, sweetie? Good. Well, she's doing a good job. Yeah, because you've made this before too, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yes. All right. Now what we've got to do is the ham, and I've got the really lean ham, so there's hardly any fat in it. It's quite thin. So what I tend to do is I'll put a few slices together, so it's just quicker. Now, if you haven't watched Tuesday with Annette this week, I did corn fritters, and they were just so easy but so delicious. But I also showed you a tip that a lot of people were pretty excited about cooking a corn cob. Now break that all up a bit. So if you haven't watched Tuesday, scroll down, you'll find it there, or go to the side where it says videos. And our filling is looking pretty fabulous. I've got everything done here on my side, so I'm going to move this out of the way. Oh, Portia, you look like you're nearly done. Now, I did preheat my oven to 180 degrees fan forced. So do that first, because this goes completely in the oven. And well done. Good job. All right, we can get rid of that. Do you want to put that over in the sink?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put in the last couple of things to this recipe, and I want a teaspoon of garlic. Now you can put the fresh garlic in if you want. Someone commented and said, I don't like the jar. I go, you know what? I only use it like that because I want quick. Because you know me, it's chuck it in, chop it up, cook it. I want quick and easy, and that's how it rolls. So Portia, I'm going to get you to help me again in a minute, but now we're doing half a teaspoon of the basil. And I'm going to just get my hands in, because it's really the only way to do it, and mix it all up. And as I said, this is out of Cooking for One or Two, as well as the book one. So there's our pizza. So that to me is all that pizza is. Fantastic. You know, we love those flavours. Now, if you don't want to put the ham in, you don't have to, but I think it just adds to it. All right, so now what you do is you divide the mix up and put it on top of each of the chicken. So I just put a handful on, press it out, get a handful, because we want to try and be fairly equal. Yep. And then I'm going to get you in a minute, when I'm ready, my little helper, I'm going to get you to put the cheese on the top, which I grated ahead because I thought we don't need to see us grating cheese, do we? How's that look, Dal?
Delicious.
Delicious? Yeah. And Portia is my first grandchild. She's always been very special to me, being the first. And my daughter Rachel is her mum. Yes. All right, so I'm going to leave that with you. You come on over. I'm going to get rid of this, and I'll be back in a sec. Wash my hands. All righty. Now, you're going to bake that in the oven for about 30, maybe to 40 minutes, depending on how your oven's. I normally do it about 30 because I don't want the cheese to get overcooked. And if you would like to win, because we all love to win, if you'd like to win either book 1, which has the recipe, hello, or you want the cooking for 1 or 2, you know what you've got to do on Thursdays with Annette. It's like, share, and then in the comments, hashtag Symply Too Good. Hashtag Symply Too Good, and I'll go in and draw 3 fantastic winners. How you going, sweetie?
Good, nearly done.
You're nearly done? Oh, you're such a good helper. Okay, so now what we're going to do is next week, I'm excited about next week's show because it's Chinese omelette. Now, I had a friend over for lunch the other day and I made them. She'd never had a Chinese omelette, so I went, I need to do this on the show because if you haven't had a Chinese omelette before, you're just missing out. What makes the recipe so fabulous is the sauce. So, wonderful. That's perfect. So actually, do you want to pop it in the oven for me? I'll put it over in here. There you go. And that'll, as I said, that'll cook for about 30 to 40 minutes. Well, thank you, Portia. Come over, give me a cuddle. I love my girl. Isn't she gorgeous? All right, darling, thanks for joining me.
Okay.
You were wonderful.
Bye.
Okay. Now, the thing is, I have got a cooked chicken ready for you because you know I love to show you what it looks like finished. Beautiful with a nice big salad. You can have vegetables with it if you want, but it is fantastic. I'll just put it down here for you to have a look. Now, this is the chicken pizziola from book 1. Now, I mean, when I look at that, I just think, I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? It's guilt-free, pizza flavors, and we're basically using the chicken as the base. So now, I just want to tell you something, just so you know. In 2 weeks' time, on Thursday with Annette, I'll be making my banana bread recipe from the iced coffee 14-day menu plan. So if you're putting in an order over the next week or 2, don't forget the shakes are available now in single sachets. So you can get a sachet and join me making the recipe. You only need 1 sachet and it is delicious. It's not a recipe that's in any of the cookbooks, but it is the best banana bread on the planet. Now, if you want to go to my website for any more tips or recipes, go to simplytoogood.com.au, and that's where I'll be posting Tuesday with Annette's recipe. What is it? Well, it's rock cakes. I'm doing a classic from the old granny days. It's out of book 2, so that's Tuesday with Annette, and you can download the recipe from the website. It's waiting for you, so you've got it there. Get the ingredients. Let's make that together. Thursdays next week is Chinese omelette. And don't forget, go and check out the knives. They're on the website now, and Diane's got a link in there for you. And I think you'll find, like me, they are the best knives you'll ever use. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye now.